You are not behind. You are not slow. You are certainly not alone in this feeling. So many people I talk to feel like the world of technology is moving too fast, that it is leaving them behind in a cloud of confusing updates and strange new words. This feeling can be heavy. It can weigh on your spirit. It can make you want to turn away from tools that might actually bring a little ease and connection into your life. This is a space for you. This is a calm conversation, a gentle guide. We are going to talk about this together, with simple words and practical steps you can try whenever you feel ready. This is not about becoming a tech expert overnight. It is not about learning every single app and gadget that comes out. It is about finding your own comfortable pace, discovering the parts of technology that can serve you, make your life a little easier, a little more joyful. We will explore how to make these tools work for you on your terms. We will look at how to build confidence one small step at a time. Let's be honest with each other. The world of technology can feel like a constant storm of change. Just when you feel like you have finally learned how to use your phone, a new update arrives. Suddenly, the buttons are in different places. The menus look completely unfamiliar. It can feel as if the rules of the game are changing every single week, before you have even had a chance to understand the last set of rules. Think about the habits you have built over a lifetime. You have your routines. You know how you like to pay your bills. You know how you connect with friends. You know how you get your news. New technology often asks you to break those comfortable, established routines. It asks you to learn a new way of doing something you already knew how to do perfectly well. That can feel deeply uncomfortable, even disruptive, changing a part of your life that felt settled and secure. Then there is the language of technology: cloud, cache, app, sync. I am here to tell you, with all my heart, the answer is no. The problem is very often the design of the technology itself, not the person trying to use it. This pressure to keep up, combined with confusing language and constant change, creates a perfect storm of stress. It is a completely normal and human reaction to feel overwhelmed. Recognizing this is the first step toward releasing the blame and finding a gentler way forward. Fear is such a powerful emotion. It is a wall that can stop us from trying new things. When we look at a new device or a complicated website, that feeling of fear can whisper in our ear. It says, "You're going to break it." It says, "You're going to look foolish." It says, "This is not for you." This fear is real, but it does not have to be the end of the story. The secret to dissolving this fear is not some grand, brave gesture. It is much simpler. It is the gentle process of building familiarity, one small and manageable step at a time. Today, your only goal might be to open the weather app on your phone and see tomorrow's forecast. That is it. That is a win. Each tiny win is like a single drop of water. When you collect them, day after day, they fill a bucket. That bucket is your confidence. Completing one small task today makes the next small task tomorrow feel just a little bit easier. The old story was, "I can't do this." The new story becomes, "I did that one thing yesterday, so maybe I can do this other thing today." This is how you turn a mountain into a series of small, walkable hills. I encourage you to try this. Pick one tiny, simple task. Maybe it is sending one text message, looking up the phone number for a local store. Do just that one thing. Then, tomorrow, do it again. Let the quiet, steady rhythm of practice replace the loud, anxious voice of fear. You will be amazed at how familiarity grows. For a long time, it felt like people had to bend and adapt to technology. We had to learn its confusing rules, squint at its tiny text, and memorize its complex steps. But I am happy to tell you that a welcome change is happening. The best and kindest technology is now learning how to adapt to us. Good design is finally asking the right question. How can this tool fit the person instead of forcing the person to fit the tool? One of the most powerful examples of this is the rise of voice assistants. Siri on Apple devices, Alexa from Amazon, the Google Assistant are designed to listen to you. Instead of needing to type on a tiny keyboard or navigate through confusing menus, you can simply speak. You can say, "Call my daughter, Sarah. What time is it? Set a timer for 10 minutes." This removes the barrier of the screen and lets you use the most natural tool you have, your own voice, more like a helpful assistant. Another wonderful adaptation is the ability to change how things look on your screen. Most modern phones, tablets, and computers have settings to help with this. Make the text much larger, choose high contrast, transforming frustration into comfort. Technology is getting smarter about helping with ideas and routine tasks. Automation can set recurring reminders for appointments or medications, and new artificial intelligence, or AI, tools can act as quiet helpers. If you are struggling to write an email or a birthday card, you can ask an AI tool like ChatGPT for a simple draft. You are still in charge. You review it, you change it, and you make it your own. These tools are here to assist you. Let me tell you about a woman named Carol. She is 62 years old. She has a deep love for her garden. She has a gift for telling stories, but she was always very shy with technology. The whole thing felt overwhelming to her. For her birthday, her daughter gave her a simple tablet. It was meant to help her stay connected. Carol looked at the screen, a familiar wave of nervousness, but she had a small, persistent dream. She wanted to share her gardening tips, help beginners in her community. Carol decided to start with one small, joyful thing. She learned how to open the camera app. She spent a whole afternoon taking pictures. Vibrant roses, blooming hydrangeas. There was no pressure, no complicated goal. It was just her and her flowers. The next day, she felt brave enough to show the photos to her next-door neighbor. That small act of sharing gave her a tiny spark of confidence. She had used the tablet to create something beautiful. It felt good. Her next step was a little bigger. A friend mentioned a free website called Canva. Her friend showed her one thing: how to use a pre-made template. Change just 3 words. Add one of her rose photos. When Carol saw the result, a huge smile spread across her face. She had made something real.
The words for the flyer were the next hurdle. Carol knew what she wanted to say, but getting it right felt hard. She decided to try ChatGPT, the AI helper. She typed, "Write one simple gardening tip about watering roses for a beginner." The tool returned a few clear, simple sentences. Carol read them aloud. She changed one word to make it sound like her. She felt a sense of relief. It was like a quiet, patient assistant.
She used that text on her Canva flyer. Her small project was coming to life. Sometimes, the best way to start is with a few specific, simple tools that solve a real problem. Instead of trying to learn everything, let's focus on 3 things that reduce stress. These are not complicated technologies. They are straightforward and helpful from the first use. Try them at your own pace. First, voice assistants. Built into your phone or available through a smart speaker. Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant. Speak instead of typing. You can try this right now. If you have a smartphone, press and hold the side button or say the wake word, like "Hey Siri." Then ask. Set a reminder for 3 p.m. to call the doctor. Or, "What is the weather today?" It removes the need to navigate small buttons and complex menus. Second, large text and high contrast modes. This is built in, not a separate app. Go to Settings, then Display or Accessibility. Choose text size or large text and adjust the slider. It can make a world of difference. Third, template-based apps for creative projects. A tool like Canva offers greeting cards, invitations, simple flyers. Pick a template you like. Change one photo and one line of text. That is it. The professionals did the hard design work for you. This lets you create something beautiful in minutes, giving a wonderful sense of accomplishment. So yeah, give one of these a try today. I want to say something very important, and I want you to really hear it. If you have ever felt lost, confused, or frustrated while using a website, an app, or a new gadget, it is not your fault. For years, we have been told a story, but that story is wrong. More often than not, the problem is not with the user. The problem is with bad design. If you walk up to a door and you cannot figure out whether to push or pull, is that your fault? It is the door's fault. Good design is clear. It is helpful. It guides you. Bad design hides options in menus, uses tiny text, adds too many steps, and vague icons. Many products are designed for young people comfortable with rapid change. That leaves millions feeling left out. You are not an afterthought. Your needs are valid. Next time you're stuck, change your inner monologue. Instead of, "I'm so bad at this," think, "This is a poorly designed website." It releases you from blame. From there, you can seek simpler alternatives or ask for help. You are allowed to look for the easy mode. You are allowed to ask for clearer instructions. Expect technology to be kind, clear, and respectful of your time and energy. Now that we have talked about mindset, let's get practical. Exploring the world of technology should feel safe and manageable, not like jumping into the deep end of a pool. The key is to move slowly and intentionally. The very first rule is to take one small step at a time. Do not try to learn email, social media, online banking, not all in one day. Pick one area that feels useful, learn a single task, then practice it until it feels comfortable. Having a helper can make all the difference. A patient friend, a grandchild, a family member, or a formal class at a local library or senior center. The most important quality is patience. Someone who lets you hold the mouse or tap the screen yourself. Someone who will happily answer the same question 3 times. Do not be afraid to ask for help. Many people would be thrilled to assist if they knew you wanted to learn. Think about safety as you explore. Use practice accounts or fake info at first. Be cautious of scams. If an email, text, or call feels urgent and asks for money or personal info, be suspicious. Legitimate companies rarely do that. Do not click strange links. Contact the company directly. Keep a small notebook handy. When you learn a new task, write down simple steps. Use official help pages and support lines. Remember, moving slowly, asking for help, and staying safe are signs of wisdom, not weakness. I want to close our time together by coming back to the most important truth. Learning to use new tools is just like learning any other new skill in life. It takes time. It requires patience, especially with yourself. And it happens in a series of small, quiet steps. You will make mistakes along the way. You will tap the wrong button. You will close a window by accident. That is not just okay. It is a normal and necessary part of the learning process. Every mistake is a small lesson. Every small win is a building block for your confidence. You do not need to learn everything. The world of technology is vast, and nobody knows it all. The goal is to pick what matters to you. What would genuinely make your life a little better? Maybe video calling family, creating a small web page for your hobby, or mastering online banking. Keep your goals small, personal, and useful. Let your own interests be your guide, and let go of any pressure to learn things that do not serve you. You are not behind. You have lived a rich, full life. The wisdom you carry is your greatest asset. Now, you are simply adding a new tool to your already impressive toolkit. Your curiosity and your patience are the only things you need to begin. Take one small step today. Try one voice command. Make the font bigger, take one joyful photo, and share it with one person. That is enough. The world of technology can be a gentle and helpful place when we approach it on our own terms. It can adapt to you. It can learn to understand your needs. When technology is designed with kindness, it becomes a tool for calm and connection, not a hurdle to be overcome. You have the power to learn at your own pace. You have the right to ask for a little help, and you deserve to enjoy the small victories along the way. You are capable. You are wise. Let your curiosity lead you, one gentle step at a time. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be.